live again.
And hello and welcome back to Jackie Jones and Susan Ritchie. I don't know whether I actually said that you were my sister. Did I say it? I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, Susan's here and we've been talking so far about the menopause. We've been talking a little bit about other stuff.
People drowning.
People drowning. That sounds awful, but if you were listening, it was a metaphor about how we can pay it forward and save people. And maybe if we know something that can help somebody and we help them, then they can go forward then and pass that on to other people.
Yeah.
I've just turned Susan's mic up. I forgot to turn it on. So
that's okay.
That's not very nice of music. So anyway, one of the things that I wanted Susan to come on and talk about, and she was quite open to doing this, was anxiety.
Yes, yeah.
Do you want to say a little bit about what anxiety is for you and how it's maybe impacted on you?
It's impacted massively. I think I was probably about 13 when I first had my first panic attack. And I had no idea what it was.
Yeah. And
in them days, neither did many other people,
yeah.
To be quite honest. Mum and Dad thought it was because I wanted to skive school. On their behalf, I must say that I'd tried everything else to skive school. So
we come from a family, and my mum always listens, bless her.
Hi, Mum.
But yeah, you had to be, really, really close to the end before you could have a day off school.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, yeah. So, basically, they did take me to see a doctor, and he knew what it was, and they put me on Valium quite strong.
At a really young age?
At a really young age, at 13, and it was a strong Valium, and I just remember feeling I had no control over my own mind. At least without them, I could sort of try and think my way, calm myself down. But
yeah.
with them, I was like a zombie. I really feel sorry for people that happened then.
One of the things that I often talk about is our thinking, and how our thinking affects our feelings that then goes on to affect our behaviour. And for somebody that I have had periods of anxiety. I was thinking when I was driving here, often people say I suffer from anxiety, and it's about having anxious moments. I feel anxious every Saturday when I'm driving here, because I've got 3 hours of a show to fill with lots of electrical things that are going, and they can go wrong, and I do feel anxious about it, but I wouldn't say I suffer from anxiety. I have periods of anxiety in my life, which I do believe 100% is part of being a human being.
Yeah, I totally agree. The one thing that I believe that, I mean, to be quite honest, talking to you and all the other things, that I could be a bit oversensitive, which makes me anxious more than I could be. Coming here, for instance, I could feel myself, getting very, very anxious and all the rest of it. And sometimes I can confuse it with excitement, especially if it's something that I really want to do, but I don't know what's coming. I don't know what to prepare myself for. I could have been going to the dentist the way I was feeling coming up here, to be honest.
Yeah. That's a really good, insightful thing for you to say, that sometimes anxiety can be crossed over with excitement and vice versa.
Yeah.
And again, the way that we think... For me, when I get anxious and I'm coming here, I know the reason why I'm feeling anxious.
Yeah.
But when somebody does have an anxiety disorder, that doesn't come into it. It's just purely about the anxiety and the panic attack, and not maybe that this is a perfectly normal feeling I'm having.
There is something, I don't know whether you'll agree with me, and feel free to disagree with me, but I do feel that there is a difference between anxiety attacks and panic attacks. Anxiety attacks are horrible. They're really, really horrible. But a panic attack is when it's hit that high that no matter what you do, I get to the point where unless somebody is there to help me, talk me down, or get me to think, I cannot think straight.
Yeah.
I can't. I feel like I can't breathe. There's no oxygen. I mean, I know that. I could breathe on my hand and feel it, but my mind will not think logically.
To me, and I'm not downplaying anxiety at all, But that makes perfect sense, because when you're saying I just can't think my way out of it, I can't do anything, that's because you've gone to feeling. And when we go to feeling and overwhelming feelings, whether that's overwhelming anger or overwhelming sadness or overwhelming anxiety, it bypasses our thoughts. And that's often why I say to clients, and I'm not sure whether I've said it on air, is that it's the fear of the fear that can cause a lot of this. And
all I feel when I'm having a panic attack is absolute terror.
Yeah.
But I don't know where it's coming from.
No.
But when, there's things like, people wear the elastic bands. It's just somebody knocking on the door, literally, can bring me down. Just something to snap out of it, if you know what I mean. Then I go back to my actual thinking brain and think, well, I can look around the house and think, where did that come from?
See, I'm pleased that you said that, because that to me again is really insightful, and it's a perfect example of how our thinking can switch from one thing to another. At the drop of a hat. We can be at the highest anxiety level, all the alarm bells are going and everything. There's a knock on the door and bang, it's gone, and we're, oh, what's that? That is our innate wellness. That is what's inside all of us all the time.
But another thing I need to say is, for somebody who'd had them for such a long time before people started to understand them, and the therapists understand them now and everything else, catching them early enough. My children, I don't know whether I've passed it on, please God may not done. I know, but
guilt is really bad when you suffer from anxiety about, did I give it to somebody?
I know,
no.
I know, slap my hands. But being able to talk to somebody and catch it early enough, as the metaphor said, teach them to swim.
Yeah.
Whereas in our day, you were just given a tablet.
Yeah.
So my mind fixated on areas that I had a panic attack in. I will not go there again. And
which I did. I don't know whether you were driving here and you didn't hear it, but I was talking about our safe space and our safe person and our safe area that we need to stick in, and that we kind of do start to put things in our own way, and we need certain crutches. So yeah, it's a really interesting conversation. So
it is.
I don't Tim's just come in. That was a man's voice. So yeah, I'm gonna hit the records, and we've got Love Me Now, John Legend coming up. We've also got Fear of Flying, which I thought was quite good to say that we're talking about anxiety. Thinking About You, and then we've got some advertisements coming up, and we'll be back soon.
Bye.
Chorley FM, working with